Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Daphna. I'm very excited and honored to host this event and introduce these amazing speakers. To be honest, prepping for this day and exploring the ability as people and businesses to reach net zero was a ride, a truly fascinating and sometimes concerning ride. But we are here because we believe that we can and must act for a clean and green future. I believe the startups picked by Good Company and all of the mission partners that you will meet very shortly are not only aligned in personal values, but are also amazing business opportunities you do not want to miss. This is the 6th mission Good Company is running together with global corporations and other VCs. Today, we are pleased to welcome representatives from AB InBev, Continental's startup arm Copace, Ashstrom Group, Bridges Israel, KPMG Israel, Leumitek and BCLP, and of course, SAP, which is hosting this event, so thank you so much. To kick us off, maybe a couple of opening words. To greet you all, please welcome Orna Kleinman, Managing Director at SAP Labs, Senior Vice President at SAP Business Technology Platform. Please, Orna.
Logistics before so that the hybrid concept will work for us all. I'll put it here. Thanks. Okay. Do you hear me at home? Remote? Great. So welcome everyone here. I'm excited to have this event face-to-face in a hybrid mode. So we're having a lot of these events lately at SAP in different conferences and kickoffs, and I'm very excited to see the Israeli ecosystem all about sustainability sitting here in front of me and remote. SAP is all about intelligent, sustainable enterprise. That is our redefined mission, and I think that the fact that we are doing this together, startups, small companies, bigger companies, enterprise companies, banks, institutions, all coming together to promote such a cause. I think that's what really makes it possible to make a difference. SAP wants to collaborate as much as possible. If any startup or any company wants to tap into an enterprise nowadays, we offer to do it through SAP. We're at the backbone of companies, whether it's supply chain management, whether it's the ERP, CRM, all the backbone of the software that runs companies all over the world, enterprise companies. And any innovation that can be done in the area of sustainability, if it's tapping into the backbone of these enterprises and not just as a sidetrack that a company does, I think that's when and where it really impacts the value chain that any enterprise is doing. So very happy to host you in our wonderful building. Have a great and innovative day, and good luck to us all.
Next up, I'm delighted to invite Ido Fischler, Managing Partner at Good Company. He's going to say a few words. Please welcome Ido.
Okay. Toda. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Before we start, I'd like to thank our partners who really made this day possible. And also a big thank you for our backers and friends, our hosts, SAP, and above all, the participating startups. This is how the year 2100 can look like. I want you to keep this in mind today when you hear the startup presenting. Keep being optimistic, because that's how we can together make a change. However, the mission in front of us is hard. Pessimists would even say impossible. During the recent COP27 event in Sharm el-Sheikh, corporates, scientists, and startups came together to set policies and goals. The current policies, however, are not sufficient and somewhat short-sighted. Other pledges and targets, even the most optimistic targets, are simply not enough. Seems like we are all facing mission impossible. However, this is our mission. And if you're sitting here today, and I'm talking specifically to the entrepreneurs in the room, you already chose to take it. So, bravo. We all understand we must act now, and technology has the power to make a huge difference. This is why we created the movement, a collaboration between corporates, investors, and startups with a simple goal: to promote mission-driven ventures. We do that by investing, purchasing solutions, collaborating, advising, and simply working together. In the past 2 years, the movement partnered with 32 corporates, 16 VCs, and 720 startups. We ran 6 missions, which matured into 5 investments, 12 pilots, and many other collaborations we can't even quantify today. Today, we are here on a mission to seek the best solutions that will help humanity to reach the goal of net zero emissions. Together with our partners, we want to help you, the startups, scale. We launched this mission almost 3 months ago, when we sat with our partners and defined the main focus areas that where innovation is most needed. We looked at carbon reduction, from carbon capture and fixation to carbon tax and accounting. In circular economy, we focus on supply chain optimization, localization, and reuse of resources. In energy, our focus is around decentralization, storage planning, and optimization, battery recycling, and hydrogen technologies. We were actually overwhelmed with the number of startups, 144 applications. We reviewed these applications together with our partners, startups that are innovating across different sectors with various technology layers, from infrastructure to hardware and software. The applications came from a wide range of geographies and stages. Startups mainly from Israel, US and Europe, and as you can see, different stages from bootstrap companies to VC-backed, pre-seed, seed, and even companies that already completed their A round and B round in financing. Together with our partners, we select today 9 startups that are presenting here. These startups demonstrate a wide range of solutions from different domains and technology layers. Naturally, it was not an easy choice. I want to thank from this stage to all of the startups who applied. Many of them are watching us now. We will feature them in an industry report we will publish soon and invite them to further events planned around this mission. I want to emphasize, today is not the end of the mission. It's really just the beginning of our mutual journey. So please, take today to get to know the people around you, since you'll meet them again. And I have to emphasize, I can't emphasize enough how many decision makers and really good people, good company that is here. Guys, we are all taking action today. So thank you for being the change you want to see in this world.
Thank you, Ido. Okay, I think we're warmed up and ready. So let's move to the part we've all been waiting for, the pitches. We've selected 9 companies to come on stage and pitch for you. Each will have 4 minutes. After the pitches, you will have time for networking, where you can chat to the companies, ask questions, and of course, exchange details. So, to kick us off, I'd like to welcome to the stage from Ensights, Shoshana, Head of Growth. Known as SolarView, developed an asset management platform for renewable energy, which provides effective insights for sustainability-driven companies. Take it away, Shoshana.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Yes, awesome. So my name is Shoshana, and today I'll be sharing with you a little bit about what we do here at Ensights. You may be familiar with the name SolarView. Today we've officially relaunched under our new name Ensights because we do more than just manage solar. We manage all of your renewable energy assets. Now we all understand the transition, the massive need to push towards renewables. But meanwhile, we see an increase in population growth, in the installation of new EV chargers. The energy demands are rising. And with that comes challenges. The biggest one being we can't control nature like you would a power plant. And more than that, we've seen that over 70% of PV systems don't meet their planned output forecasts. The challenge for us is to manage the full energy flow and operations of our assets wisely and efficiently, to be able to produce and store when we can, so we have enough energy to consume when we need it. And that's what we're doing here today. With our SaaS portal, using zero hardware, we're aggregating all of your assets in one place. We're pulling data from your renewable energy sources. It's solar, it's wind, from your EV chargers, your smart meters, batteries, aggregating all that data and running it through our own machine learning algorithms, providing not just visibility, but actionable insights. We take that data and give an image of it against all the nearby systems, being able to validate your performance and generation data. Once we detect any anomaly or fault within your system, we're able through the platform to communicate directly with your different providers. It's giving you the ability to track and manage that whole process, making sure they upkeep service level agreements, performance guarantees. And we can't not talk about, today, profitability. We don't want to decide between having to do good or being profitable. You should be able to do both. And it's all about using the right tools. Of course, storage comes into play when we talk about renewables. The dynamic mechanism to be able to understand when it's best to import, to export, and all of that understanding when it's most optimal. What we're doing here today and what we've developed is the operating system, the iOS, the Android, the Windows for the renewable energy space, one centralized location to allow a range of actions. What we're doing is reducing the need for your human error, the Excels, right? We're able to now optimize the whole operations process and give you visibility on all different layers: maintenance, generation, consumption, production. Our customers and partners up until now have been from all different areas. We're talking about O&M companies. We're in connection with energy managers, with asset owners, with investors, anyone who has a large portfolio of renewables that wants to optimize the assets they currently have. In the past year since we were founded at the end of 2021, we've already taken over 30% of the market share in Israel and connected to over 3,000 assets in Israel, Europe, and the US. Now, our results are proven. We've hit our yearly forecasts for our different partners. They're reducing monitoring teams and being able to scale more effectively, and we're saving money and time and CO2 emissions. These savings are equivalent to over 30% of their expenses. And of course, they're not the only ones who stand to benefit. These savings are equivalent to 7.6 million tons of CO2 emissions a year. Now, our team comes with a background in academia, within engineering, software development, algorithm engineering, and we're all here with one mission, and that's to develop the most effective energy optimization technologies for sustainably driven companies like those here today. Now, the question now is, do you want to work harder or do you want to work smarter as we transition and reach our sustainable goals? So the last question I have to ask you is, do you want endless energy insights? Thank you.
Thank you, Shoshana. From Tel Aviv to London, I would like to welcome via Zoom David, founder and CEO of Keyano Capture, a UK-based startup. As one of the winners of Elon Musk's X Prize for Carbon Removal Award, this startup seeks to harness genetically modified bacteria for affordable, long-term carbon capture on an industrial scale. David, thanks for joining. We're all set, so whenever you're ready.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen and the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thank you. Well, thank you very much for having us today. So yeah, my name's David. I'm from Keyano Capture. We are based in Oxford in the UK. I want to start by talking about blood. And it's actually a miracle that you're alive, given the concentration of CO2 that you have in your blood. Because blood is able to carry 20 times the amount of CO2 that water is. And we're founded by a medical team, and we wondered if there was an equivalent solution that for blood that is basically for the whole planet. If it's in the whole planet, we essentially have a carbon problem. And a bit like how the human body can deal with blood, we're wondering if there's an equivalent for the whole world. And we think there is. This is the cyanobacteria, a type of microalgae that is the oldest photosynthetic organism in history and is responsible between 30 to 50% of the world's oxygen. They are the most efficient natural system at carbon capture. So now just a quick thing on physics. There's a 2,500x increase from atmospheric CO2 to 100% stream of CO2. And this requires an energy increase because you are going against entropy. So both concentrated CO2 and then turning it into higher energy molecules requires energy. So what does this all mean? Well, it means that the energy required to capture 17 billion tons a year is currently at about 2x the amount of energy produced globally today, which clearly is an unsustainable number. So what are we kind of going to do about that? Well, we're going back to nature by using nature's original carbon capture system and upgrading it using cutting-edge genetic engineering. And what we do is that we take our cyanobacteria, we put them in big tanks called photobioreactors. As you can see here, we pump flue gas through, and then all we need is sunlight and some nutrients, and the cyanobacteria rapidly convert CO2 into biomass and bio-oil. Now, this means that carbon capture can become affordable because we're relying on nature and the sun. And it means also that when we sequester carbon, it actually can be in a solid, dense form rather than in a gaseous form that is often hard to transport and store. And it also means that carbon capture can become negligible energy. Again, by going back to nature, but using some cutting edge genetic engineering, we're making it very low energy use for carbon capture. And this kind of changes the paradigm of how I think we should approach carbon capture today. So all this means that we've got low energy, very simple, low capex and opex, and low volume, dense sequestered carbon. And I just want to finish with this, is that our system is 80 times as efficient per square meter than mature forest. You know, this is the most efficient system we think out there. And carbon capture is going to require land, whether that's solar to power whatever you're doing, or forest. But we think our system, and through this very efficient natural way, is a great use of land and resources to try and sequester carbon. And then just in terms of the commercial model, one of our benefits is that because we produce these downstream products, in addition to carbon credits, we have other ways that we can make revenue, and that's both through biochar and also through potentially biopolymers as well. So that means we have a versatility in our downstream utilization for our products, as well as carbon credits. And that means that we think, a relatively defensible revenue streams across our sites. Look, we were very proud to win the Shell New Energy Challenge in Lisbon earlier this year, and we're really excited to be doing a pilot with Shell coming in 2023. And then moving forward, just as a company generally, you know, we're a young company, only really founded in 2021, but really getting going this year. We've got a very aggressive ramp up, working with the likes of Shell and Iberdrola to roll our sites out and our pilot sites out. Just to end, is that I think, you know, we want to make carbon capture affordable, but actually true at the same time. And that means it has to be low energy. And that's why we're going back to nature, using some very modern techniques to do so. Thank you very much.
Cheers, David, thanks. Next in our lineup, we're moving to buildings. Jonathan is the co-founder and CEO of StructurePal, which aims to reduce the usage of concrete, a material in charge of 11% of overall CO2 emissions worldwide. Jonathan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Daphna. So, hello everybody, my name is Jonathan Lazowski. I'm the founder and CEO of StructurePal. I'll start by stating a fact from our industry, which is the construction industry. We are using too much material. We have to be more precise, more than it should. What do I mean by saying more than we should? We over-design everything. Our architects, our engineers over-design too much material, and StructurePal is here to eliminate that over-design, starting with concrete, which is the most horrible material in the world, probably. How horrible, you say? First of all, horrible industry in terms of 39% of the CO2 emissions come from our industry. A quarter of those emissions are from the concrete sector. Just to give you a hunch, concrete is second to water when it comes to human usage. And if you can imagine 1 by 1 by 1 cubic meter of concrete, that's the number of emissions that 1 cubic meter will do. Just imagine around to what's happening here. So, why are we over-designing? So I'll take you a little bit to understand the world of the engineers. Not enough of them, and even less by the day. More buildings to build, while at the same time, zero time to design. I mean, 4 weeks for a building, that's nothing, basically. And if that's not enough, a third of the cost of the project is on their hand. So what they will do? Fast delivery tactics. They will design fast as possible using thumb rules, copy-paste techniques, not because they're bad people, because that's the way it is. So what happens when they do that? We reach, in terms of concrete, up to 20 to 30% over material in our project. And that's not such a pessimistic number, by the way. That can translate into loss of up to 10% the funds for the developer. And I'm not going to talk about the friction between the different stakeholders because everybody knows those numbers in our industry anyway. So what are we offering? First of all, let's help our users, the design manager, the structural engineers. Let's reduce time of the design. Let's integrate easily to their software, but at the same time, 15% reduction in cost and in volume of concrete that leads to up to 30% in some cases of CO2 emissions. So, don't believe me? This is Covey, one of the largest and most important consultancies worldwide that decided to benchmark our solution with a building their humans already designed, and these are the numbers: 17% reduction in emissions, 20% in construction cost, and roughly 100 tons of CO2 emissions for a building which is not that big, 100 tons. But concrete is not the only thing. We can try to get into new places because structures worldwide are designed by steel, timber, and a mixture of them, so there's another market to go into. And if we're looking just at the small market we're tackling right now, which is the concrete market, we're talking about a total available market of $9 billion of income. But the most beautiful number is this one. If you can read it, it's a little bit long. This is the amount of emissions just from the concrete section of the industry. But the most beautiful thing about us is that we are a great team of structural engineers that decided to take measures into hand. We know how to code, how to implement AI, and we're building this software bit by bit and conquering, let's say, the industry. Conquering the industry, when I say that, look at our investors. The 2 biggest construction companies in Israel already put their money and projects in the line. So I'll just finish by saying we are raising a seed round now, and you're welcome to meet me later at the lunchtime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonathan. Interesting stuff. We continue now with a company which came to us all the way from Copenhagen. How is the co-founder and CEO of Tegmat. With its thermoelectric generation component, Tegmat can convert differences in temperature as low as -50 to as high as 350 degrees Celsius, and they convert that into electrical energy for IoT devices. How? The floor is yours.
Thank you, I'm ready. Oh, I'm not ready. No, just give it to me. Today I'm bringing you a solution all the way from Denmark with the help from Innovation Center in Danish Embassy in Tel Aviv. A solution that makes the industrial scale thermal energy harvesting profitable. Why is it relevant for all of us? The thing is, when we talk about renewable energy, people often think about renewable electricity, but there's another side of the story. It's the heat. No matter how we generate electricity, we will generate heat as a byproduct. And no matter what we do, we will generate heat, because heat is the ultimate form of energy. As a result, the industrial waste heat is in such a huge amount that exceeds the amount of all the other renewable energies, including biomass, wind, PV, all combined. If we are going to reach net zero, if we're going to increase the energy efficiency, waste heat is the energy that we cannot afford to ignore. While a large portion of the industrial waste heat has been recycled, the real challenge is the low-grade waste heat, meaning the energy density in the heat is so low that makes the return of investment too long. And our solution is using so-called thermoelectric energy harvesting to convert waste heat directly into electricity without moving parts, without chemical reactions. The technology is not new, but what makes TechMud unique is after many years of research and development, we've managed to reduce or to remove 95% of the material cost. And we've also managed to make world's first flexible thermoelectric generator. By being flexible, we have a lot of advantages. We can make a better connection to any regular surfaces, and we also generate more power on the same area. It's not difficult to understand why we claim ourselves the renewable energy, because the generation process exits any CO2, and we upcycle waste heat into electricity. And we also help the digital transition of the company. This is the example of how we help the industry by making their IoT solution, IoT devices batteryless. This is how our satisfied customers say about us. They say this technology is really enabling for the future IoT. And we also managed to make a digital twin for the utility company, for their underground, hundreds of kilometers of underground pipelines, because there's no power there, but they have heat, so we can generate power for sensors. Let's skip this. Here, we have worked in IoTs now, and we can also upscale it for general energy harvesting, and we can also downscale it to wearable devices, meaning we use body as the heat source to generate power for the wearable devices. We're a small and dedicated team, very diverse. And my name is Hao. This is TechMud. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Hao. Our next presenter is Raanan, co-founder and CEO of Carbonate. Straight out of Weizmann Institute of Science, Carbonate offers a new reusable, fossil-free, carbon-based compound. This compound could be used to create large-scale sustained products such as synthetic fuel, plastics, and cleaning detergents that all rely on carbon for their end product. And as an end user, using literally all of these, I'm all ears. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take it away.
I'll start by saying thank you very much for the audience and for good company to facilitating this. It's a great honor for me to stand and present Carbonate. Carbonate is related to the CCUS vector, carbon capture, utilization, and storage. And basically what I'm trying to squeeze in 4 minutes bottom line, which is deep tech, and that is very challenging. So if you have something that I wish you could remember from my pitch, is that actually we take air and make fuel out of it. That's the bottom line of what I'm trying to do. Our story actually begins around 200 years ago from the Industrial Revolution, when the mankind started injecting or taking off fossil and use it for their daily basis. And actually the mankind is a kind of used to use carbon for actually we'll find everywhere. In our buildings, as you heard before, in the fuel, plastic, detergents, and everywhere. And as a byproduct, of course, once you use this product, we emit a lot of CO2 to the air, and that makes our global warming effect. And in practical, we are offering a path to generate and to create the same old product that we use today, but with a net zero approach with fossil-free ingredients. So basically, our circular economy approach intakes CO2 as a feedstock, put it within our system that cracks down it into carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is then integrated with additional compound. I took an example to integrate the carbon monoxide with hydrogen. That is already existing process in the industry, and actually this creates fuels. And once again, this is a pure net zero process. And you ask yourself, okay, what makes carbonate special? Actually, using or utilizing an already existing proven technology that was tested and evaluated at Weizmann Institute, we are the lowest energy consumption needed for this reaction, meaning this makes sense in commercial availability, and that makes sense at it all. Diving a little bit into technology, don't worry, we'll not go into chemical lessons now, but practically we're trying to imitate photosynthesis, taking CO2, combining it with water, some electricity we generate from the sun, for instance, and create carbon monoxide and oxygen, and that's the beauty of it, and using a unique catalyst which is embedded within our system. I can give you like 2 examples of what you can do in the market. That's actually strategies that marked by Shell and Airbus, how to create synthetic fuel. And as you can see, we can plug in our solution within their already existing process. There is a lot of interest in what we do in the market. We're already engaged with a couple of key players that are working in this arena, that are willing to put some money and to help us with technology and facilitating pilots to actually to prove and to demonstrate our solution. By the end of the day, to conclude it, we have the technology, it's a scalable one, and the best team that you can have. So I'm inviting you all to join our journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raanan. Okay, we are officially at the halfway point. Nice. I remind you that after the next 4 pitches, we will break and you will have time to speak to the founders and companies one-on-one. So let's welcome the next co-founder and CTO, Ofer from Solite, which brings sunlight into our lives by effectively harvesting natural sunlight into indoor spaces.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ofer Becker, co-founder and CTO of Solite. We're an Israeli startup that created a patented, highly effective, innovative means by which to reintroduce sunlight into our built environment. We started out as a lean, I love it when I can say lean about ourselves, a 2-man team with my younger brother, who was then CEO, taking care of the business side. I was the mad scientist on the roof trying to harness the sun. Also, we were very fortunate to have Maayan join our team last year as CEO. She has been a great driving force and really bringing us forward in a huge way commercially. So what it is that we do? Humanity evolved for thousands of years under natural sunlight, and this natural sunlight times our daily biological clocks. Yet in recent years, we've moved into cities, we spend more than 90% within buildings, and the lack of the solar stimulus is extremely harmful to our well-being and health. Also, there's the point of energy, better utilization of sunlight within buildings. So these are the issues we set to address. How did we do it? We created an effective sunlight harvesting system very similar to a periscope placed on your sunny rooftop or a sunny facade, collecting the sunlight and transferring it in real time into dark areas within your building. Think of inner windowless rooms, underground floors, etc. It took us 6 years to develop the technology. It does take time and hardware. And what we came up with eventually resulted in 2 global granted patents and a much higher value for money. So we deliver much more light per each euro spent on the system. We also excel under cloudy conditions, and we can tailor the solar heat intake so that we can be solar heating in winter and absolutely not heating in summer or in warm climates such as in Israel. So we are a valid, positive, and significant tool to reduce GHG emissions in the built environment. We obviously target the operating field, and we can bring down energy expenditure in buildings by 35% in some cases. But the real benefits go way beyond energy, as I mentioned before. Here are some of the sector-specific benefits which are 50 times more significant than mere electricity savings. Our market is huge and growing, driven by recent European daylighting standards, increasing energy prices due to the war in the Ukraine, and also the recent EU mandate requiring all non-residential buildings to become net zero by 2030. Here you can see some validated high value segments we are already addressing. We are operating in Israel, enjoying, I would say, quite a modest success. We have moved from initial POCs to large-scale projects. We are providing natural light in urban renovation, industry, and sheltered homes. So we provide a proven technology tested in the field. We have raised 2 million in grants, 1 million from private VCs, and we are asking you to help us bring sunlight to life. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thanks, Ofer. I would like to welcome Shaked, co-founder and CEO of Netef. Netef provides corporation, facilities, and farmers with their own system of energy storage and production through reuse of otherwise wasted water resources. Take it away.
Thank you very much. So hi, I'm very happy to be here and represent Netef. And I will start just with what we are doing and make it just a little bit summarized. So what we are doing is we're using the wasted energy in the water system and generating energy. This is the main goal for our company. And we also storage energy, but I will talk about it in the next slide. So who we are. My name is Shaked Karbi, and Asaf Heyman, who is a global expert in the water regulator system, is my partner. So what's our product? We have two unique main products. The first one is energy storage. Use very technique pump hydro technology with very low cost to storage the energy, but I will not talk about it now. And the second thing is hybrid regulator. We use integrated of regulator and turbine and create energy. So what is the problem that you're trying to address? It's massive loss in the water system. As you can see, in the water system, there is many regulator that aim to adjust the water pressure to our need. In the process of reducing the water pressure, we are wasting a lot of energy. That amount of energy we can use to add to our needs. So our solution is integrated turbine hybrid, as you can see here, that generate electricity from the otherwise wasted energy. Generate electricity, sorry. And we have here also additional CO2 emission that we save, and we earn money, and we receive tax credit. So just a little bit about the size of the project. In just one unit, we can save up to 170 tons of CO2 emission, and that's just one. The market is huge, and we can have millions. Full charge of 4,500 electric vehicle, and more. From the financial perspective, we will have return on our investment after just 2 years, which is way more efficient than solar and other alternative. And after just 4 years, we will have full return on our investment. And this is without taking into account any carbon or credit in the Western countries. Or our clients. So basically, it's every business and water utilities that have water regulator. That's industrial company, water utilities, and public and commercials. Our stage right now is we're starting a POC with Mekorot, the biggest water utility in Israel, and we're looking forward after that to extend our business locally and globally. We have direct and indirect competitors. Our indirect competitors are the old regulation company, which actually wastes energy. And we have very new startups that are direct competitors. We're looking for actually customers that wants to be more energy efficiency and save CO2 and energy efficiency and save CO2, and also to partner with financial institute that can help us scale and win the race to energy harvesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shaked. We have 2 more companies to go. So let's welcome Doron, co-founder and CEO of Luminescent, which developed a game-changing product in the energy industry, a disruptive heat engine that converts any size power generator into a sustainability driver, allowing corporations to cut their costs by storing energy. Doron, please.
Hi. So my name is Doron Tamir, and for more than a decade, 2008 to 2018, I was the biggest solar energy developer in Israel. My partner was EDF Energy Novel. But then I come to the conclusion that solar energy is very nice. It's a great solution, but it's not the right solution if you want to be serious about energy transition. It can be part of the solution, but not the solution. So I sold my company, and then I found out that 70% of energy in the world is wasted. But the problem is wasted. Potentially it's hundreds of gigawatt of zero-emission electricity. But the problem with wasted is that all the projects are under 10 megawatt, or typical project, under 10 megawatt, usually under 5 megawatt. And the existing technologies, which is steam turbine and ORC, organic ranging cycle, are too expensive and inefficient in this capacity. So no one uses the potential of 100 gigawatts of wasted, zero emission. So this is exactly what Luminescent is doing. We're developing disruptive heat engines that can be small, efficient, and low cost. So from now, actually everyone that have any source of heat, it can be waste heat or any other, can generate zero emission electricity with very short, simple team, people, combination between the academy founder, Professor Kamal Rothschild, from the industry areas. My VP engineering was the VP engineering and production of Format for many, many years. And the problem of heat engine is actually the red line. The red line is called a diabatic expansion. This is the most inefficient way to have power, but this is the only way. Carnot, the father of the thermodynamics, asked us to be on the blue line, but we are the only ones that succeed to do it. If you want how to do, I will explain you later if you come to my table. But in the end of the day, what is important is that we can be the third of the price of any existing technology. And the reason why. First, we are based on liquid. And liquid have 1,000 times more densities than gas. Okay, so it can be small. Pipe can be small. The valves can be small. All the machines can be small. It's very easy to produce our energy, one rotate component. And the last we are isothermal expansion. So we have double the efficiency. So here it's how it looks like. This is our first generation turbine. You see the nozzles, the hot liquid. We are based on liquid, as I mentioned. So the hot liquid going inside the tunnels, coming to the nozzle. We inject bubbles of air, and actually what you have, it's a simple sprinkler. No more than that, like in your garden. Very easy to produce, very low cost to sell. So we have 2 beachhead. The first one, it's renewable energy storage that, okay, never mind. But renewable energy, what we are building, it's Carnot battery because we have isothermal compressor and isothermal turbine. It's a huge, it can be very low cost, $50 per kilowatt hour. And for long duration, it's not competitors to the lithium ion. And the second one, it's waste heat. A niche of waste heat is the small open cycle gas turbine. Along the US pipeline, you have compressor station. The small open cycle gas turbine operate the compressor station, but the efficiency of this turbine is just 30%. So we use all the rest, the 70%. We don't need to replace it. It's retrofit a project, and we can generate another 15 gigawatt of zero emission electricity, very high capacity factor, just from the waste heat of this niche. We have another market that we'll start later on. So in this year, in 2022, we finished our proof of concept, generation 1 of our turbine. We raised $7 million already. Next year, going to be our prototype and a new round. Also in the end of the year, first commercial pilot. And 2025, we're going to have our first sales. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doron. last but not least, I am happy to welcome Yuval, co-founder and CEO of Terra, which transforms wetlands into carbon capture tools. Terra allows farmers and landowners to fight climate change while providing corporations with carbon credits. Yuval?
It's working, do you hear me? Hope you have enough energy for the last one. So yeah, my name is Yuval Avi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Terra. Terra goal is to remove millions times millions tons of CO2 from the atmosphere to the soil Terra. We are part of the climate change solution, and as I guess most of you know, there are two actions humanity can take to fight climate change. The first one is to stop burning fossil fuel. The second is to actually capture the CO2 from the atmosphere and remove it and put it into the ground. This is where we play. Politicians talk a lot about it, but not much is done. Luckily enough, the private sector is kicking in. What you can see here is an amazing factory in Iceland using renewable energy to capture and break the carbon from the atmosphere and put it into the magma as a solid, as a rock. Amazing solution. They sell it very expensively. Typically in this part of my presentation, people are asking me, who the hell is buying air? So my answer is twofold. That first of all, we're not selling air, we are removing garbage, invisible garbage, from the atmosphere. And there is an ecosystem, the voluntary carbon credit market, which is already functioning and working. There are project developers, regulation bodies, markets, and buyers. And according to this McKinsey report, in the next, in the end of this, decade, there's going to be 15 times more than today, like $15 billion. So let's talk again about the solutions. There are two classes of solutions: engineering, as I showed you in Iceland, and natural, where we play. The go-to solution for a biological solution are trees. Trees are wonderful, but they have some disadvantages. For example, the burn. Terra take a different approach. We use wetlands. Wetlands excel in capturing the carbon and outperform in storing them in the soil. Besides just removing carbon, they have also many additional benefits. For example, enhancing the biodiversity, stop floods, purify water, being a green preserve for the growing population. In the last 200 years, 80% of the wetlands worldwide were drained. Some for cities, but mostly for agriculture, and agriculture is a polluting practice. Our concept is to take this land and use it as a carbon sink. The hugest challenge for our industry is scale up. This is why our model is Airbnb-like. We partner with the landowners and provide them all the technology, all the means to use their land differently as a carbon sink. We measure the projects, we optimize, we give them instruction how to sequester the best they can, and we issue credits and monetize them. Everything is about data, quality data, and above it, a decision support, which is specified for each biome that we are managing. The opportunity is huge. The way we're going to generate money is by selling license to the platform and take commission from the credit sale. Currently, we're in the POC stage. We're working in fish ponds in Israel, which is a low-hanging fruit, but our vision is to do speed and scale, because speed and scale is the only way to make a real impact. And this is we took from the book of John Doerr, which is one of the gurus in our industry. We're working already for 2 years. We have working projects. We are selling. We have very strong connections with the academy and a green organization for preserving the nature. And you are welcome to meet me and the other co-founders later on in the roundtables. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. That's it. Those were our top 9 startups for today. Thank you all for your mind-expanding presentations. Thank you to everyone who attended this event in person and online. I hope you enjoyed exploring new ideas and startups. I did. Utilizing energy and reusing resources means managing your system in a more efficient way for you as a company and for all of us as a society. Together, we are one step closer to reaching net zero. So I would like to say goodbye to our viewers on Zoom. Our next and important part of the day will include meeting our startups in person, but I think in order to do that properly, we should all eat first. So let's lunch. Lunch will be served in the next room, the area where we all gathered from earlier. You can enjoy your lunch there or in the lobby area. At 1:30, we will start the roundtable session. The rooms have been pre-organized and each one of you should know where you will be sitting and attending. For your convenience, you will have a screen with a list of rooms and each room has a sign with the time slots and participants. So just follow the instructions, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to the Good Company team, raise your hands, and to the SAP teams, raise your hands, so they can assist you. I hope you had a good morning with us. Goodbye, Beteavon.
Everyone, thank you, Daphna Lucy. Enjoy.
תודה לך. היה כיף. תודה רבה.
היה נפלא, היה נפלא. ממש.
היה קצר וקולע, לא?
קצר וקולע, זה רק ההתחלה, כי עכשיו
כן, לא.
What they all say, right? Awesome, the Christian and Christian Dior. Damn, they don't make them like this anymore. I ask, cause I'm not sure. Do anybody make real shit anymore? No one man should have all that power. Don't act like I never told you. No one man should have all that power. How could you be so heartless? How could you be so heartless? No one man should have all that. I'm a sick, I like a quick. I'm a sick, I like a quick. I'm a sick, I like a quick. I'm a sick, like I had a dream I could find my way to heaven. When I woke, I spent that on a necklace. I told God I'll be back in a second. Man, it's so hard not to act reckless. Whom much is given, much is tested. Get arrested, guess until he get the message. I feel the pressure under more scrutiny, and what I do, act more stupidly. I need you right now. No one man should have all that. You can't tell me nothing.
Do you get deja vu when she's with you? Do you get deja vu? I'm like, fuck you and I fuck her too when she's with you. Do you get deja vu? Oh, that's red in my chest. I still wish you the best. Oh, that's red in my chest. Oh, that's red in my chest. Do you get deja vu? I'm like red in my chest. Oh, that's red in my chest. I still wish you the best. I'm like, I can't afford a Ferrari.